All righty, we are back. It is Tuesday night. It is 6:30 o'clock on the Pacific Standard Time. I am Doc. No, I'm about to say I'm Dr. Plagus. This is my good friend Dr. Plagus. I am Poppin' Sloth. We are your hosts this evening. I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep and a lot of traveling. So we're gonna have a sloppy one.
Mhm.
Anyways, we got lots to talk about today. But I think we want to start off maybe going over some pickups over the last week or so.
Yeah. I was gonna say, hearing your story about your adventure yesterday and where you're at on your sleep schedule really doesn't make me miss the big city living very much because of I know what you went through. Um, no fun. That was
Well,
like my biggest motivator when I moved back to my hometown from the big city was just like I can be anywhere in like 5 to 15 minutes versus like, 5.5 hours of commuting for work every day. Like
yeah.
just,
Oh, well, that's the thing. I was in Vancouver. So I live in Victoria on Vancouver Island. I traveled to Vancouver, which is it's about a 5 hour travel all in all together.
mm,
Uh, and that was just for a concert. But like even just being in the city, having to travel from, where I got off on the ferry to, my buddy's house was still an hour and 15 minutes with like multiple switching of, sky trains and buses. And I'm just like, oh my God, I don't know how people do this like every single day. Like,
yeah.
whew, yeah, not for me.
Yeah.
Uh, and I didn't even get to look at any comic shops or anything because transit was late at every point, and I was like, I want to go to a comic book shop, but couldn't get to there. But oh
So
well.
when you do travel like that
Mhm.
on buses and trains, you typically bring a lot of reading material with you.
No, well, the funny thing is, I did this time because I've never really have. I don't really travel too often anymore. Uh, so but this time I was like, I'm going by myself traveling, so I'm just gonna like I brought 12 books with me. At the
Oh wow.
mindset of like I'll read six on the way there, and then I'll read six on the way back. I didn't read any on the way there, and I read one on the way back. And it's just because it's you're tired and you're just kind of blanking out and
Yeah.
like I don't know if you like ride having ridden the ferries my entire life for an hour and a half, for these ferry rides, it's like sometimes it's like just blanking out goes makes it go faster than
Sure.
anything else. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
the one book I did read, we'll segue into this, is my one pickup to show off, which was the Batman, Deadpool, and of course I got the Constantine. And yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah, best cover.
Yeah.
Okay, I shouldn't say there was a lot of really good cover. This might be the best cover in my opinion, though. I don't know. I don't know. It's a great cover. Uh, no spoilers. Samrock has not read it yet.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
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 We'll avoid spoilers then.
Yeah,
Uh,
I haven't either, so
okay, you haven't either. Okay,
no.
like I said, I read it today, so we won't spoil it. Um, but yeah, that's my basically my one and only pickup to really show off. Do you have anything else you'd
I
like
do.
to show the
First I want
class?
to say what's up to JSS Brooklyn, and I see Mark in the chat, son of Union Gap as well, and what's up to Sam. Yeah, I yeah, so I got that too.
Mhm.
Obviously, I think we're both big fans of both characters. So, yeah, I haven't read it yet. I kind of the only story that really intrigues me is that one right there,
Mhm.
Strange and Constantine.
Yeah.
Um, Everything else, I've flipped through it and nothing else really catches my attention. But anyways, on the heels of Do a Power Bomb from last week being like one of if not the greatest book I've ever read, I'm all in on Daniel Warren Johnson now.
Yep.
And uh, I mean, trying to think, other than Transformers, which
Mhm.
I'm pretty current on,
Yep.
I don't know that I mean, I'm familiar with a lot of his artwork, but hadn't read too many of these stories that he's done.
Hmm.
So I'm like I'm all in now. I picked up the trade paperback of Space Mullet, which
Yeah.
is one of his earlier stories, I believe, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. Um, and then I picked this up because pretty much any chance Dave gets, he rants and raves about this book. Wonder Woman,
Yes.
Dead Earth.
Yep.
Whole, I'm
Yep.
I'm a little more than halfway. I started
Mm.
reading it today.
Yep.
Um, I read it this morning. I
Hmm.
was reading it before the show. I was reading it at work today. This is so good.
Yeah.
I'll be finished with it by tonight, so maybe next week we'll. Have you read it?
I read issue
Oh,
1.
dude,
Yeah, I know.
stop what you're doing and fucking read this shit. This is so good, man.
Yeah.
I mean, um
I'm really enjoying the issue
we're
1.
gonna get into what we're thankful for in the
Mhm.
hobby here in a little bit, but
Yeah.
I'm like I'm thankful for Daniel Warren Johnson. I know I'm late to the party, but better late than never.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
I mean, he's like the best thing ever for comics. I think like just the full package. I mean, he's a great writer.
Mhm.
Um, man, do his stories have so much like meaning and depth and just like there's actually stuff to take away from these stories, you know? Crazy. He's so good. I can't
Well,
believe it's taken me this long to catch
I
on to him.
especially with him because you can tell he has a love for comics. He has a love for so many different things, and they all
Yeah,
end up into his work.
yeah.
Um, that's what I mean. I remember reading Transformers issue 1 and being like, "All right, this is why I've always liked this guy." Like, I'm sure you read Beta Ray Bill, right?
Oh yeah, I've read that as well.
Yeah,
And what I
yeah,
mean, and the takes, his takes on these characters. I mean, it's
yeah.
so refreshing. I
Mhm.
mean, I've read random issues of Wonder Woman, and obviously we were really enjoying Absolute Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Um, and this is almost along the lines of Absolute Wonder Woman. I mean, just really dark and gritty. Um, and like these stories that he tells, they're so like relatable to actual things. It's like he's taking motivations from things that are happening in the world today and putting them
Yep.
in these books and kind of showing us, kind of like outcomes of, some of these things. And it's just what a ride, man.
And have you read the Absolute Batman annual?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. 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 Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. Um I really enjoyed it. Yeah. I I don't know what else to say. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
his new biggest fan for sure.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of kind of how I am. I'm typically late to the party and not up on trends, and
No,
it's
like,
great that I surround myself with people who are just giving me nothing but good recommendations. Dave, Eric, Nine Panel Grid, Nick from Comic Culture, like all those guys, just they uh, they never give a bad recommendation. That's for sure. Um,
there you go.
so
There you go.
moving on, the plastic is finally starting to pick up a little bit.
Hell
Um,
yeah. Let's see what you
I
got.
picked up myself a Metron.
There you go. Yeah.
I just got the regular version because like that's kind of I like I like platinums and stuff, but sometimes you just want that classic look.
Hmm.
And then speaking of classic look, I got the
Oh yeah.
question platinum,
Yeah.
um, which I did not realize what this was going for on the second or on the aftermarket or whatever. So I got this for pretty much retail, which I think was
Oh,
about
dang.
$26. But I was looking on Mercari, and I think it's selling like for 80 to 100.
Dude, I
So
I feel like I have no idea what the resale value in any of these McFarlane things. I have so many, especially like some of the old ones,
yeah.
like the Batman Last Night on Earth set with like the Bane and the Scarecrow and the
Oh
Wonder
yeah.
Woman with the Mohawk and the Batman with the Joker jar in the head. Like, I wonder what that full set goes for.
Oh man, I can't imagine. Yeah, I know occasionally I'll see one that I have when I'm browsing through like Mercari and the secondhand sites,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, "Oh wow, like, one that I have is selling for, almost three figures or whatever."
Uh-huh.
So
Those are usually
yeah,
fresh in box, though, eh?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mine wouldn't because they're all out of box. So
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Um, and then yeah, I thought I had more, but I really didn't. So lastly, um, our good buddy John with Paper Chase
Mhm.
Comics, he uh v- was vending at a Comic Con where he's from over the weekend,
Mhm.
and Adam Hughes was there
Oh.
doing signings, and I think he said it was like $5 an autograph.
Mhm.
So he just got a ton of books signed. And Adam Hughes is well known for, some of his earliest works were on the Star Wars Dark Horse comics.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so he,
Yep.
he gave me a couple options and, to get one signed.
Mhm.
And so I got this
Oh,
awesome Han Solo cover.
that's
And then you
sick.
could see he does the AH.
Yep.
So I got my first Adam Hughes autograph, which is
Hell
pretty
yeah.
sweet. Excited to add that to my collection. Um,
That's a nice little one.
yeah, yeah, pretty fun.
Hell yeah. Man. And sorry, did you say it was $5 an autograph?
Yeah, which
Okay.
is
That's
pretty,
reasonable.
yeah, pretty fair. Trying to think who I could compare that to. Like I want to say Arthur Adams this year at
Mhm.
Rose City was like $20 an autograph.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, and I took one book for me to get signed and two
Mhm.
books for my friend. So I mean, $60 on autographs just right there was kind of
Yeah.
like, dang,
That's
kind
yeah.
of.
You can get yourself a small grail for that.
Sometimes though other artists will sign for free. Like
Yeah.
I want to say Ron Lim wasn't charging a
Mhm.
handful of years ago when I saw him. So I don't know. It's hit and miss, but yeah, $5 an autograph for somebody like Adam Hughes is pretty
No,
fair, I think.
yeah, that's because I mean, in reality, you could bring him, you know, 10 books, and that's $50.
Yeah,
And I mean, for how much work is going in to, writing it, AH exclamation mark,
right.
it's probably going to take him 3 minutes to do, and he's making $50 for
Yeah,
just that. I'm like, that's not too bad. I think
it's
it's
really
reasonable.
not.
I think it's reasonable.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think everyone's a winner in that situation.
Yeah. I mean, Adam Hughes is great. Not my favorite autograph.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to have it,
Mhm.
more than happy to have it. But, like even like when Todd does like the T McFarlane,
Mhm.
I kind of view that as like a little bit of a jip, like I want that full
Yeah.
Todd on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
That's
I'm trying to think. I had another autograph book that I wanted to show off, and I can't remember if I showed it off last weekend or
Which
last week.
one would it have been? Any hints?
It was a triple signed.
Yes.
I did show that off because we
Yeah.
had the back-to-back shows. It was like a Saturday and then a
Y-
Tuesday show.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, I showed it off. Never mind.
Because what? Oh, who was this thing? It was
Bunch
oh
of
my God.
older
Yeah.
artists. Yeah, on a Power Man, and I remember now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. 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 And I remember one of the signatures was a little blended in. It was hard to see.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was really clear. Okay. What was it? Who were the signatures again?
Oh gosh, I can't.
Oh, you can't remember either?
No, they weren't. They weren't. It wasn't three guys that I was super familiar with.
Okay.
But they are definitely like some pretty prominent Bronze Age guys, like a penciler, an inker, and an
Yeah.
editor. So yeah,
Someone can roll
shame
back the
shame on me.
tape. If someone can roll back the tapes and find out. Uh, oh, that's a nice little haul. It's a nice little haul then.
Yeah.
Um, do you want me to give my thoughts on the Batman Deadpool stuff with no spoilers, or we want to just kind of breeze past that one?
Yeah, I would like to hear it. The reviews I've heard haven't been the best. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what you think.
Uh, I can't remember. So there's the one main long story, which I thought was fine. Uh, like I think these crossovers, in fairness, I go in with really low expectations.
Hmm.
Like I think like this is like this book is well this whole thing is just to sell money. Like it's not sell money, but make money and sell books, right? That's why they put out a ton of variants with a ton of different characters on them because
Yeah.
you're going to want one with Batman, Deadpool, and then you're going to want one with Constantine and Strange, and then you're going to want one with all the. So it's obviously pretty money grabby. So I didn't really expect going into it to be anything incredible. Uh, but that being said, I enjoyed it. Like I was reading it on the ferry, and had nothing else to do, and I was like, hey, you know what? I'll just finally read this, and I was like, you know what? That was a good use of time.
Mm.
I enjoyed it. The I think I always like short stories a little bit more in these things. I almost wish it was just a bunch of short
Hmm.
stories rather than a mix of different things. Um, like I think of like how Marvel does like the women of Marvel or these kind of voices where sometimes it's just like a single page story. Like I would have maybe liked to seen a couple extra ones of those where it's like just give me like a you know one page of two characters who just do something stupid or funny together, right? Like
Yeah.
just utilize this to be a little more jokey, a little more fun. The main story did feel like it took itself a little more seriously. The Constantine Strange one though, thoroughly enjoyed. I low key wish that was just the main thing. Like
Yeah.
if that was the main full story, I would have been like, they could have spread that out over double the amount of pages for sure, and I would have had no complaints. Um, and then there was the X-23 Wolverine and Nightwing one, which I actually really enjoyed as well.
Mm.
Yeah, I would have been really happy to see more of that as well. Like they could have given a full like if they I almost wish they just kind of did like cheap like normal size cheaper crossover issues rather
Yeah.
than trying to shove a bunch of kind of content into one more expensive book. Then that way we could have picked and choose which stories we
Yeah.
wanted and um because there's so much potential, right? Like
Hmm.
Constantine and Strange, like I would read an entire series like I
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm kind
I
of curious why they went the route that they went with it.
mm,
Um, and I wonder if I mean I imagine both were pretty successful. So
mm.
I'm curious to see if that opens the door for maybe a little bit more of like what you're saying, like full single issues of some of these uh team ups or whatever you want to call them. Um,
Well, that's the thing. I think if Marvel and DC want to continue to succeed, they have to shake things up, especially Marvel right now. Like, if Marvel can capitalize on any success that DC is having, they should just do that. Like,
yeah, I mean they just need to put Daniel Warren Johnson on everything. If they,
if they can scoop him up and keep him
dude,
paid well and happy, yeah, absolutely. Just put him on a Thor series, like moneymaker right there. Put him on a Thor
yeah,
series for sure. Um, and let him do whatever he wants with it. Because that's the thing I think with a lot of these comics, and I think especially with Marvel right now, is I don't know if it's like an editor or a chief or a supervisor or someone just
hmm,
feels like they're robbing the soul out of a lot of these stories, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that.
Me and my business partner were talking because he asked me. He knows that I'm a big fan of Doom, and he asked me if I had read the latest issue
Mm,
of One World Under Doom, and I was
yeah.
like, no,
Mm,
I think I picked up issue 1 and never even read it. Like I haven't been on that series. And he was like flabbergasted. He's like, "But you're a huge Doctor Doom fan." And I'm like, "I know, but that's just kind of how where I'm at with Marvel right now."
yeah.
And I was like, "But I heard that they killed him." But I'm just like, you're going into this new, like these movies with
Mhm.
them being based around Doom. And
Yeah.
right now in the comics, you're killing him off, which means more than likely.
Mhm.
So what you're going to do is you're going to kill off the character in comics that
Yeah.
all your next batch of movies are going to be based around. So are you going to keep him dead and have it be meaningful in comics, like because they
No.
fail to do that all the time?
Yeah, they're not
Or
going.
are you just going to bring him back right away like they always do,
Mm.
which is kind of just a joke? It's like, oh, they're killing somebody off, and what do? You roll your eyes to that. So it's like,
Well, no, they're gonna bring him back with whatever changes they make in the Marvel movies. Like they're gonna
mhm,
rewrite Doom to be more in line with whatever direction the MCU wants that
which
character.
then only further solidifies my disgust
Yeah.
with with Marvel right now.
Yeah.
Because although I did really enjoy the Fantastic Four movie, I finally saw it.
Mm.
Like I still have no faith in them. Like, okay, they made one good movie in the last 10 years or whatever, um
Which is funny because I still I tried to rewatch that movie and I couldn't.
mm,
I just
yeah.
it's not for
Well,
me.
I actually watched it twice, fairly back to back, like probably in the same weekend.
Yeah.
Um that's probably it. I mean, it wasn't that incredible,
Mm.
but I enjoyed it enough that I could give it another watch, but
Yeah.
I don't have the desire to see it again anytime soon, that's for sure. I mean, it's the best thing they've done in a while, I think, in my opinion, but
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know what they could do right now.
I think what they well, I mean, we keep saying it, right? It's just wipe the slate clean. Like just like if the end of the Ultimate Universe is gonna do anything, like like they need to amalgamate the two, like the main continuity and the ultimate continuity. Take what's working for both of them, smush them together, and call it a day, and then just start fresh from there. Because I think people, from my understanding, is people prefer the Ultimate Spider-Man since day one. This current version of Spider-Man, I don't know what people are thinking, but I haven't heard anything good about Spider-Man, the main continuity, in a long time. Uh, but I hear Ultimate Spider-Man's really good still.
mhm.
So
Well, and they just they keep trying to like force these new versions of old characters on us. Like they just killed Nornrad and he
yeah,
transferred his powers to um
so yeah,
I can't remember her name, but to a female character, and now she's the new Silver Surfer, and it's just like it's not. I'm not one of these guys that's like, Silver Surfer can't be a girl or
mm,
whatever. It's no issue with that whatsoever.
mm,
It's the obvious like forcing of this. It doesn't. It's just so Marvel. It feels so
mm,
forced, and like we have to change the Silver Surfer rather than just bringing in something new and refreshing.
yeah,
Just kill the Silver Surfer. Not have there not be any version of a Silver Surfer. Um, they're just, and I went into that series, like hoping for, I don't know what. Um,
a proper send off,
yeah, this is something.
meaningful.
Yeah, and it was totally what I really expected it was going to be.
Mhm,
Disappointing and just forced. And like, I'm sorry, but that character is not like that's not the character. Like
mhm.
that character sucked. Um, what's her name? Kelly Coe or something. I don't know what it was, but
And I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know why they keep trying it because they did that even with Sentry after Sentry died in King in Black.
Hmm.
He had his own little mini series, but it had nothing to do with the original Sentry. It was the Sentry Power looking for a new host or something, and they were all fighting and killing, and then then that was it. Or like I don't get why they choose to do that. You
Yeah.
know, like just like I'd be more like let the character be dead for 10 years, you know, and then bring him back when we all forgotten that he was dead and we're like, oh shit, now the Sentry is back. Where'd he come from? And then give us a whole new story about where this new Sentry came from, or how the old Sentry came back. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I if they're going to character's going to be dead, let them be dead for longer than 2 months. Like
Hmm.
Miss Marvel was barely in the grave before they brought her back immediately.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
it's like a lot like pro wrestling nowadays. Like everybody wants that immediate payoff, where back in the days they had what was called long-term storytelling, and it was like when Sting came back as that like crow gothic version that
yeah.
he came back as,
Mhm.
that was like almost a 2-year long process of him like making little cameos and not
Yeah.
wrestling a match and just like popping up here and there and like
Mhm.
vignettes, and it dragged and dragged and dragged. And when he finally got in the ring and beat up the NWO with the baseball bat, it was just like one of the most monumental moments in wrestling history,
Yeah.
and totally just made him more of the legend that he is nowadays. And it's just like we don't have that nowadays. Everybody just wants immediate payoff and change, and I don't know. It's just not working for Marvel.
No. Well, it's like there was a character. Oh my gosh, I can't remember so years ago there was a Darkhold series, and there was a Darkhold Alpha, a Darkhold Omega, and then like a bunch of tie-in books. I don't know if you remember when those were coming out. Um,
Yeah, 2020s, early 2020s, probably.
2024, something like that, I
I think
think.
I think earlier than that.
Yeah.
I have the
Uh,
books. I know what you're talking about.
but there was a character who was introduced at the end of that who was what was his name? Um, oh my gosh. You don't remember who I'm talking about, do you?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh. It's not like I keep thinking it was Kid Omega or something, but it's not. Um, he comes back at the very end. Omega the Unknown was his name.
Mm.
And he was a character from like the 70s,
Oh wow.
and he had returned at the beginning or at the very end of this Darkhold series, and I don't think they have yet to do anything with him, like
Yeah.
anything. And he's like straight up in the end of the book, like he's there, like like he's back in the continuity, and they're like, he walks off into the sunset, being like, I can't wait for my next adventure, and it's like we have never seen this character again. Like
Yeah.
what like like it just that shit to me is just is baffling. Like
Mhm.
I don't know,
Yeah.
and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we have seen him since then, but not anywhere noticeable, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And again, DC's all over the place too, but I just feel like, their stories are better. They just have better people on their stuff. So it's still like I can still stomach it.
Mm, yep. Well, I mean, that's the thing too, is I feel like they were smart and they signed on a lot of these writers to be like exclusives with them, right? Like I think
Yeah.
Scott Snyder and Tom King and all the sirens going by my house are all exclusive with DC. Uh, can you hear all those sirens
Oh
coming
yeah.
from? Yeah, okay. My
Not
apologies.
bad though. It doesn't overpower you by any means.
All right, cool. Uh, yeah, hold on. I had to double check this because I was confident that I don't think we had seen this character since. And I pulled up the Wikipedia here, and in the fictional biography, it's like in the Darkhold Omega, we see this character return from another realm where the character had originally died, and that was it.
Wow.
Like that's the last entry is from the Dark Hole. I don't know. I'm really salty about that. I was like, who is this character? Like, this is awesome. Like they're bringing this character back from the 70s. I don't know anything about. I want to know more about. And then never saw him again. So
Yeah.
I'm like really. I don't know if I'm the only one. I probably am the only one, but yeah.
I don't know that I even ever read those books, but I know I have them. I should check them out.
I just really want them because they had some really sweet connecting covers. Like
Yeah.
really cool, like gnarly looking. Yeah.
Are we live on Instagram tonight too?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I don't know if anyone's watched it, but we are live over there.
That's cool. I'm
Yeah.
still, yeah.
The big news this week, obviously. Oh my gosh. A CGC 9.0 Superman #1 sold for $9.12 million at Heritage Auctions earlier last, I guess mid last week. And this was the highest sold issue, I think, ever, all time. I don't think any comic book has ever come close, from my understanding. Yeah, I guess there says here there was a $6 million one, I guess, but that was an 8.5,
Oh wow.
and then there was an 8.0 that sold for 5.3 million.
Jeez.
So I guess I mean it tracks, but I mean we were kind of talking about this a bit before the show. Like, at what point, like, does this even like it? What who like? Did that auction right there single-handedly determine the value of this book at that grade? Or I guess the previous auctions leading up to this one, it kind of makes sense, but like,
Yeah, they definitely set the bar, for sure. Um, I know a guy. So a few years ago,
yeah.
a guy Darren Watts, and they made a whole documentary about this, but it's the Fantast collection.
Mm,
He got one of these out of his dad's collection that was a 7.0,
yeah.
and I think they were valuing that at about 3 million. Um
Jeez.
so I mean if you kind of look at what those 8s and then the 7
Mhm.
value, like,
Yeah.
I
It,
mean
it
it
makes
fits.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Um I just I wish we could know who this person was, because I just don't think they're I get it in the sense of, like, these super wealthy people have their art, and
Hmm.
this certainly would fall into that category. But I think there's more even beyond that. The condition of the book, when the book's from.
Hmm.
Um, but I just don't imagine that a comic book collector picked this up. I would imagine this person, maybe they have like a handful of other big grail books in high grade,
Yeah.
just as, like, you know,
Show off.
art bragging pieces or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but this is strictly just gotta be for like some type of flex, right? I don't know. I don't know.
So as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, in this kind of condition, these should be considered like, shouldn't this not just go into a gallery or a
Yeah, I
museum
mean
or
it's
something?
pretty incredible. I mean, when's the book from? 1939?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this is like, if I were CGC, I would be saying, if this went through our facility and it came back in 9.0, I would go to the guy, the creator, and say, listen, it's your book. You can do whatever you want with it, obviously, but this is the highest one we have of that we know of.
Mhm.
You know, the idea is they have the previous highest one. Like the highest one is always kind of like, the idea is like CGC is constantly upgrading.
Yeah.
So the next time the highest one comes in, they're like, okay, we're going to give you the previous highest one. We're going to keep the highest one because this is a cultural, this is a treasure. This, obviously the world doesn't work that way,
Yeah.
but in a
Well,
perfect
and
world.
And you know what this caused? Darren Watts, who owns the 7.0,
Yeah.
um, because I don't know necessarily how this works, but because there's now a new highest grade
Yeah.
9.0, I guess it sets the standard for what
Mm.
what they're going to look for to determine a grade.
Yeah.
So he is actually taking his 7.0 back to CGC, and I think
Wow.
this is on the request of CGC themselves,
Yeah.
but he's taking it back to them to have it cracked and
Wow.
basically resubmitted for a potential.
Might have a
I
boost.
believe there's strong potential for a grade bump. When it
Interesting.
comes to a book like this,
Yeah.
a portion of the cost of grading it,
Yeah.
like a percentage of the value, is
Yeah.
factored into the cost. So it's like, this might have cost hundreds of thousands of dollars just to grade alone.
Yeah.
Um, so I would imagine if they're recommending him to resubmit it for a grade bump, there's probably a likelihood that his 7.0 is now going to get bumped up to something higher, which is, great for him. But this book obviously set a new standard for for it. It's just crazy because it really got me thinking about, valuable books. And of course, I'm not a millionaire, far the farthest thing from it. But when I have books of high value, I really even struggle with, like, one, paying the money that it costs to get them, but two, even keeping them, because ultimately, if like, let's use my first appearance of Blade, for example, a pretty high value book. I estimate it probably close to $1,000.
Sure.
I struggle with keeping that book, knowing that I could buy a facsimile version of it
Mm.
for, cover, for $5.
Hmm.
What's in the book is really what I want it for. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily want the book for its value. However, it is awesome to have that book in its original form, not a facsimile form. It's got
Yeah.
the newsprint, or the paper, the news.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Express.
I think it's
Yeah.
newsprint.
Yeah.
That original paper, there's just nothing quite like,
Hmm.
especially with an older, like a Silver Age or a Bronze Age book, there's nothing quite like an original printing. Versus the facsimiles are typically, this modern day quality, which isn't bad. But it's just not that original quality. So I walk a very fine line with what valuable books I do keep. There's certain
Hmm.
things where I really just want the story, not necessarily that I gotta have that first appearance copy or whatever.
Hmm.
This is just crazy. I don't even know what to say about it.
Well, that's the thing too. Is yeah, like what, like, what, why, it's almost like just unfathomable in the first place to think of $9.1 million getting spent on a comic book in the first place is already just like a stupid sentence.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just a stupid sentence. Like it's just $9.1 million on a comic book, huh? Must be a fucking good read.
yeah, yeah,
And you're never going to read it.
yeah.
Excuse my language, but just to the point, right? Like,
I
yeah,
mean,
like,
certainly a book like this, I wouldn't, I wouldn't judge the. It's like, no matter who the hell you are, if you had this, whether you paid 9 million for it or you found it in your grandma's attic, I don't know that you necessarily want to flip through this. you
no,
know, get
no,
yourself the facsimile and keep this baby secure and protected.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
So here's a question for you: if you found one in your grandma's attic, are you
oh
sending it
man.
to get graded, or would you just keep it at raw,
I
protected,
mean,
like a top loader and all the bells and whistles, put in your safe? Uh, but would you send it to get graded?
well, I wouldn't have the money to pay for the grading
Fair enough.
unless they are willing to like take an
Dude,
IOU that once it's graded, I'm gonna sell it and I'll
yeah.
I'll pay you the $100,000 or whatever you're gonna charge me to grade this book. But without hesitation, I would I would grade it and flip it in a heartbeat because I'm just not that sentimental, you know?
Mm,
Like I even if it was only worth 100, you know, like let's say it's an AF
mm,
15 and it's worth 100 grand. Like I'm just not.
yeah.
Would it be awesome to own a first appearance of Spider-Man? Yeah, but I'm also a realist. Like
Mm,
just like for me with some of the books that traveled through my hands this summer, first appearance of Ghost Rider,
mm,
first appearance of Punisher, like would I love to own those books?
mm,
Absolutely. But I definitely loved the thousands of dollars that I got for them much more. And I take a lot of pleasure in knowing that I held them. I
mm,
read them, you know, I looked through them. I
mhm,
had them at one point in my life, and I'm
mhm.
good with the facsimile versions of those books, you know? Um, yeah, I'm just not that sentimental. Now,
Yeah.
if I had a like a first print, first appearance of Ninja Turtles,
Mhm,
now that's a pretty high value book that I would really love to own.
mm,
Same thing with Albedo 2, first appearance of Usagi.
mm,
If I'm lucky enough to own one of those someday, like, you know, that book will never leave my collection, you know, as long as I'm alive. But I might have to fork over like five or $6,000 to get one of those
mm.
someday. And if I can at some point in my life, I'm probably going to because that's just a really meaningful book that I do want to own, you
Yeah.
know? So I guess it's just really preference too. Like, you know, whoever this is, maybe they're just a huge, huge Superman fan and having this book means the world to them and they got the money for it, you know? Um,
You know who's been real silent since this?
who?
James Gunn.
Dude, what if it's him? That would be
He's
crazy.
been real quiet.
Yeah, you're right. That's funny.
Maybe
Yeah.
treating himself to that little profit, a little
Well, and just
revenue.
think about the people that found this, you know, that
Well,
they
they did
lit.
exactly what we were talking about. They got it graded and sold it, right?
Yep. Yeah.
uh oh, Razor Ramen dropping a little question for us here. What's the
Oh,
most you ever spent on a book, and what's the most valuable book you own? I think we've maybe answered this one before, but I'll be really quick about it. Um, the most expensive book I have is it's a Vena. What the shit is it? Oh my, sorry, I'm swearing. I'm really tired. Uh, I don't remember what it is. It's the one signed by Art Gym though, Art Germ,
oh, okay.
and I spent like a couple $100 on it. But that's the most expensive one I have for sure.
Well, I have books that are worth like my Hulk 181. I didn't really. I mean, ultimately, didn't really spend anything on it. But it's probably my most valuable book. The most I've ever spent on a book would have been Giant Size X-Men #1, and I spent I think 1,200 on it. Um, oh wow.
Yeah, that was the one. Oh, was my screen being shut? I didn't even realize. Yeah, that's the one I picked up. That one's graded 9.8, signed, and that's the most
Oh,
expensive one I
that's
have.
sweet.
Yeah, it's a beauty.
Yeah.
I gotta get that. That's still I still have that in. I moved 5 months ago, and that's still in a box somewhere. I gotta get that out of the box.
Yeah,
All of my graded
it
stuff
needs
still
to
in the
go
box.
right back there on the wall, right next to your, yeah,
Yeah,
right there.
yeah, right there. Yeah.
But yeah, I spent 1,200 on my Giant Size X-Men #1. Only to determine that was kind of one of those series. So I collected the whole um Chris Claremont run of Uncanny X-Men,
Mm,
only to determine that that whole run value wise wasn't something that I desired. It was more or less just for the story. So I
mm,
sold all of it and just collected the omnibus because
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's kind of what I determined. Once I achieved that,
Mhm.
there I was kind of left with this feeling of like, now what? A lot of those books were so valuable that I didn't necessarily want to like continuously read those copies. So I just sold them and got the omnibus, and now I'm constantly jumping into those and just reading random issues. Yeah, did it all for the Nikki.
This is the part of my. I look at my collection, I get really annoyed because I am sentimental about a lot of my collection.
Hmm.
Because a lot of my more valuable books are like books like this, right? Where I'm like,
Oh yeah,
I'm like Loki gonna have to maybe tear this out of my dead body, right? Like it's a David Mack doing Echo Indigenous voices. It's like the Incentive Virgin. I have it raw, and I think it's still worth about $100, which to me that's the second most expensive book I own, right? Like I don't have expensive books because I just buy cheap sentimental books that sometimes end up being expensive.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, like that's the problem. It's like I have to go through my collection and be like, what artist do I not like today? Like it's tough.
yeah, yeah. A lot of my autographs, obviously, like those are pieces I could never let go of.
Mm.
Just some of my favorite stories where the books aren't that old and raggedy. Like I can go back and keep reading them, and I'm not like hurting the value. It's when I have something that's really high value and I just feel like every time I read it it bumps down a grade, and I don't know, I just can't with that.
Let's see. We got Samrock saying, I have a lot of high value books, but for me, I try not to think about the value for certain books I have because I don't ever plan on getting rid of them. Smart man.
Yeah.
Uh, oh, maybe he's
Okay.
saying I don't have a lot of high value books. Okay. He doesn't have a lot of high value books. He tries not to think about the value because he doesn't plan. Okay, gotcha. Razor Ramen. I often think about getting rid of my single issues that I can't get to or own in that I do own in collection just to keep stuff from the house. Oh yeah, it's tough to sell. I feel like unless you're a vendor, it's kind of tough to sell single issues. Kind of, like I see people trying to sell them on marketplace here on Facebook, and I'm like, unless you have a full run, like I don't know if those are ever going to leave your possession there.
Yeah.
Like, or
Yeah.
selling it as like a big bulk, like $50 for a short box or something, right? Then.
Yeah. I mean, best options are like, selling a bulk box to a LCS for a price that's going to make you sick to your stomach, or just, doing some type of claim sale like how I do. But even that gets really hard. I don't really like doing it unless I'm selling books of value, because I run a claim sale and make $15, but it took me 2-3 hours to set up for it. It's like I didn't really
Well,
take care of myself.
then you gotta ship it. You gotta, do all this other stuff for it too, right? Like it's that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. It takes a long time sometimes to
Yeah.
get that stuff done. Um, we are going to do a little bit of a shorter show today because I'm barely alive, and for some reason I agreed to go to work after this. So, what your homeboy does for the paychecks? Hoo, hoo, hoo.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I agreed to this. Okay. Was there anything else you wanted to wrap up on? I mean, maybe we can list off a couple things we're thankful for in the world of collecting.
Yeah, well, when it comes to the hobby, I am I'm really grateful for you and for the friends that I've made in it, the people that I get to connect with over these things that we love. I'm grateful for the show. Like I say it all the time, but like we talked about this for years and we finally did it, and it's just becoming like a place to just get together with, the regular people that hop in here.
Hmm.
And oh, who's that?
He's a
Yeah.
homie who's thankful for this pod, and we're thankful for you.
Yeah.
Never
I
seen you
don't
comment before, but if you're here,
Yeah.
we love that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you. I love
Well, yeah, anyways, this is just becoming less of like a priority like it was kind of there for a little while, and more of like just a place to kick it and talk with our friends that we've built up through the show and just talk about the things we love. And like, I don't know, I'm embracing that more, and I don't know, I'm thankful for this outlet for sure, because it's, you know, you sit here all day and think about this stuff and don't have anyone to talk about it with. So this is the way to do it, you know?
And and I'll say that thankful for you as well. For the last few months, I've been, living on my own for the first time in my adult life, and this podcast, doing this, chatting with you like every week, has definitely been like, whew, like that. I, need it. Like it.
Yeah,
Yeah, get to talk about stuff that we love and do it in a
yeah,
space that's just, I don't know, man. We're just hanging out. It's good. I
yeah.
love it.
Yeah, it definitely gets hard when life, gets to lifing, and it's like, this is kind of a roadblock in between the stuff we're going through or dealing with. But it's like, I don't know. It's so necessary, it feels like, to just, okay, like halt all that for a second
Mhm.
and just do this.
Yeah.
Um I'm learning to embrace that more for sure.
Dude, that's the thing, is even that's how I felt today. I was like, man, I tired and out of it, but like, you know what? I want to do the show today.
Yeah.
Like I, I want to do it. Like, it's the highlight of my week.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I will say, as my joking answer was gonna be, I'm thankful for leaks. I'm thankful for people leaking information in the hobby.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, and
For
yeah, like I said, I'm thankful for Daniel Warren Johnson, because
Warren
I mean,
Johnson.
his stuff is just, I'm enjoying it so much. Like, I can't put his stuff down. Other stuff I can put down, go do something. I gotta like finish this book tonight.
Yeah.
I gotta know what's next. Um, but no, yeah, I'm just thankful for my friends in the hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the only thing you truly need in this hobby,
Yeah,
and maybe internet connection, but you know, you can make it work.
yeah,
All right, my friend. Well, I think that kind of does it for us this week.
yep,
I think the plan is to be back again next Tuesday, as we always are. We, of course, we appreciate you guys for tuning in, as you guys always do, whether you're on Instagram, on YouTube, or you're watching on the replays. We appreciate it. We really do. Um, yeah, I hope everyone. I guess it's, yeah, American Thanksgiving this week, so everyone enjoy. You get taking the day off.
yeah. I'm taking Thursday off, and then Friday is gonna be a
Barely.
struggle.
Yeah, it's Friday. It's
Most
barely.
people won't be working that day, so I did want to say, Razor is really lucky that he's gotten to meet him. I really hope that I can catch him at a con somewhere around here pretty soon. Because I would love to get some stuff signed by him. Although his signature might even be worse than Adam Hughes. I do not like his signature. When I see him, I will offer him more money to do something a little bit better. It is
That's
not
fair.
great. Yeah, but anyways,
Uh, does Canada Thanksgiving do turkey? Yeah, we do. It's in October though. Uh,
uh,
we do. My family did a great Thanksgiving turkey back in the day. Uh, yeah, thankful for Darren Watt. Thankful for Peach Momoko too. I know she's maybe a little spread thin these days, but I still love her. I'm still
yeah.
thankful every year. Razor Remy usually does a cool free remark with the signature too. There you
Oh,
go.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right. I think that does it for us tonight, guys. We'll be back next week. We're going to be talking about a couple different things, including I think we want to talk about keeping motivated in the current, climate of everything's keeping motivated, being productive. So we're going to be covering some fun stuff next week. All right, guys. Thank you, my friend. Everyone have a great week, and we'll talk to you guys again soon. See
Yep.
ya.
See ya.
Bye.